Premiere of a brand new caloric oven. It's 10 appliances in one. It does everything from air fry to bake to roast, not to mention it will boil, it will braise, and it will saute, and it will bake. There's 6 pages of all-star holiday items, and take a sneak peek at that caloric oven because it's coming up next hour, and there's only 2 presentations left on the day. But I think we should put the kettle on. What do you think, Chef Jet?
I can't say it like you do. Yeah, let's put the kettle on.
Let's put the kettle on.
Don't. Yeah, they're gonna roast me forever. All right, so it comes in 2 colors. There's red and there's black, and no other kettle in the world you can cook food in. So I don't even know where to start because I'm so excited. Let's talk about actually how this works.
Okay.
Right? The interface is really simple. So there's really just 2 buttons here. So there's your on and off, and after that you can pick boil, you can pick tea, you can pick soup, and then once you select your function, it kind of does it by itself. So this is tea. So we're gonna go to tea. And then let it work. It'll go to the perfect tea temperature. And here's the deal. The actual pot is separate from the base. And that means many, many things, actually. It's easy to clean. This also means you can cook in it. I think, I'm just gonna go nuts. I'm going to the other side of the room really quick over here. All right, so when can you make soup inside your own kettle? So I literally have a soup setting. So I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna go to on and off, I'm gonna go to either stew or soup. I can put all my ingredients in there. And then this is butternut squash, curried, a little bit of cinnamon. And this will continue to boil at 212 degrees until you're ready. And then you can put a stick blender if you want to, but you could just heat up soup. You can do whatever you want here. So.
You don't need to put the kettle on the stove.
No.
You don't have to put the stove on. All you need is an outlet.
All you need is an outlet.
So maybe this is for your office, maybe this is for your RV, maybe this is for
Dorms.
the little mother-in-law apartment, upstairs, downstairs, wherever you want tea, wherever you want hot water, wherever you want to make oatmeal, you want to heat up some soup, you could even make your ramen noodles and your pasta, and anything with a hot liquid, you could put it in a tea kettle. So it's a tea kettle and it's an electric pot, and it's all in one. It's a Black Friday price of $34.95. That's all we're asking from you today. You choose either the black or the red. This would be a great gift for any kids that are in the dorms. Right?
Oh,
they don't get a kitchen.
This is the perfect dorm situation.
They want to, cook up some instant food. They want their coffee. They want their tea.
And you need to tell them, hey, your RA is going to get mad at you, but it's not my fault, right? Because you're not technically supposed to cook. Now check this out. It went right to 212 degrees. I've got some instant oats here, and look at the timer. And how many times? I'm going to out you, Mom. I'm so sorry. How many times has my mom left the kettle on the stove and then it boiled dry? It's just it's scary. So this way it'll turn off by itself when it's ready. I lift it right off, and then I'm ready for breakfast right here.
So it turns off automatically.
You
never accidentally leave the stove on.
It's got its own brains. It actually doesn't just turn off automatically. It gets to the right temperature, and then the timer starts, and
How
then
important
it turns
is it
off.
to get the right temperature for different teas? Is that important?
You know what? As we both know, coffees and teas, there's many kinds of teas, right? There's green, there's black. Some are fermented, some are not, and they all need different temperatures. And we can get to all those temperatures, and some need a really aggressive brewing, and some do need any brewing. And then beyond that, if you're a real coffee snob and you do pour-overs, if you're like a super coffee snob, you're really worried about water temperature, and we can get you to the pour-over stage. And you can do this electrically. That's the brilliance of it. It's so much fun. I mean,
I've never seen anything like it. So most tea kettles, if you think about it, have a very narrow spout at the top, and basically all they do is boil water, and then maybe you pop in a little, tea bag. But this is actually a pot. You can make the tea, or you can go ahead and make lunch. I mean, think about how handy this would be if you do cook at the office, or if you're someone who just doesn't want to turn the oven on and have the burners on. This has the safety feature that I think is so impressive. Or if you're thinking about someone who may leave the burners on, I know my grandfather.
Your grandfather, my mom. I'm sorry, Mom.
We loved my grandfather very, very much. But we always had to double check. Did you turn the burner off? Did you turn the burner off?
That's right.
He was a busy guy, always got distracted and wandered off. So now you never have to worry about the burner being on.
And how many of us are camping nowadays? I mean, how many of us are taking our trucks out, pitching?
Yeah.
tense overlanding. And it's so tough to get those jet boilers, those propane boilers. You've got you have this in the same vessel.
Oh,
you
that's a
can
good
cook
point.
food, you can make tea, you can make coffee, and it's all there. When have you ever cooked in a tea kettle before?
What, mac and cheese. I could heat up
All day
stew.
long.
I could put a can of soup in there. I could make noodles. Anything that if you do have some of those survival foods, the dehydrated foods, and you just add hot water. So you're right, camping. Maybe you have sort of just an emergency
there you go.
kit, and you're like, well, I might not be able to do a lot. I don't want to heat up the whole oven or the stove, but I could just pop the kettle on.
And then one more deal is, you can actually cook your ramen noodles in here. Or you can cook your chili in here. And then let's say you want to go out for an adventure, you're going hiking or something like that. Let it cool down and then come back and then go to the warm setting. So once you're done, I also have a warm setting here.
Oh,
I set it
nice.
to keep warm. And again, a kettle that has a stew feature. How cool is that? I feel like calling it a kettle almost shortchanged it because it does so many things. It really kind of is an electric cooker, isn't it? I mean,
Yes.
it's so much fun.
Because it's making, a pot of noodles instantly.
Yeah.
If you love hot cocoa and hot cocoa is so great this time of year. A little peppermint cocoa, maybe you put a little peppermint schnapps in there, maybe a little whipped cream on top.
A little grown-up cocoa for us, and then for the kids, they can have regular.
Just keep the kettle available. And a lot of you are hosting and entertaining. And does anybody ever want the same drink at the same time?
No.
No.
Right, no,
Someone
never.
wants tea, someone wants coffee, someone wants something before dessert, somebody wants something after dessert. Sometimes people want oatmeal in the morning. Sometimes they want a pancake. Some of you want instant noodles. I mean, it's hard enough to please your own family, and then you start entertaining. This would be lovely to have. Our red is very popular, so it looks like the red is going to sell out first.
So is that what's going on, guys? Red is really popular. All right, Team Black. Let's get up there.
A man cave?
A man.
Do the tea.
I
Do the
may
black.
or may not have one of these in my man cave, and Allie may or may not have one in her woman cave, actually. And
she
look,
shed?
number one is a she shed. Number one is tea.
Okay.
Number two is boiling water.
Okay.
And now you're bringing a whole nother universe in there where you're actually making soup, making chili, making ramen. It's pretty awesome.
I mean, that's about as complicated as my cooking gets.
They're right.
I'll be honest. You may never even turn on your oven ever again. You may not turn on your stovetop. Or if you're trying to just, limit how much you're using your stove, or maybe you're someone who, maybe your stove isn't working right now. You'd be surprised, right? These appliances kind of come and go, and maybe you need something just to tide you over. Or you have an RV, or you have a little mother-in-law apartment, or a basement, where you've got
and
a little
cool to the
kitchenette
touch.
down there.
I gotta say, this is 212-degree water. The top is cool to the touch, and usually, the base, it's all through induction. So what's heating up is here. It's not here at all. And this weighs probably 4 to 8 ounces. So it's very easy to pack. It's very easy to gift.
And a nice little impressive display. They've got the nice little LED readout, right?
That's
and it
right.
actually tells you how long it's going to take to boil.
Oh, for sure. And depending on what you're doing with it, it's going to it's going to do all the work for you. So where you're on the red one there. All right. So again, butternut squash soup. That's been cooked in the pot, and you can actually warm up soup.